Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, Devin White is here. Philadelphia Eagle, 1 year prove it deal. I think worth up to, I want to say $7 million a year. Potentially, it could be worth up to that amount. Listen, man, Devin White, he's had his struggles last year. You know what I mean? We're not going to sit here and act like he's the end all be all at the linebacker position, but the facts are this: Devin White is much better than what the Philadelphia Eagles had. Much better than what the Philadelphia Eagles had. 26 years old, still fairly young. At the end of the day, he's able to give us something from the linebacking position that other guys weren't able to give us in terms of, defending, you know what I mean, defending pass attempts. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely, a step ahead of everybody else in coverage in the linebacker room for the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 3 interceptions last year and 6 pass deflections. You know what I mean? We need that type of, diversity in the linebacker room. And I think he fits well from, a leadership standpoint. He's been around some intense defenses coming from Tampa Bay. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles need every ounce of what Devin White could bring to the table. You know what I mean? We need everything of what Devin White can bring to the table. So this is a move that makes sense for the Philadelphia Eagles. It might not be a splash. It might not be Patrick Queen or whatever everybody else was expecting. But this is a really solid move. Really solid move, especially when you look at all the other moves that were made, you know what I mean, on the defensive side of the ball. You were able to make something happen on all 3 levels of the defense. You went out there and you got you a Bryce Huff. Then you went out there and got you a Gardner Johnson. Then you threw some sauce into the middle with Devin White. That makes sense if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. Not to mention you still got all your picks and you got the draft coming up. The Philadelphia Eagles are hot. The Philadelphia Eagles are on a roll, and they are doing their due diligence. They are doing their job. And I couldn't be more excited, man. This is panning out to be one of my favorite off seasons for sure. We're going to see what the draft holds for us. We still got some capital and some leverage with some guys like Josh Sweat, who are reported to be dealt, you know what I mean, at some point during the offseason. But, man, this is a tremendous move if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. And if you're Vic Fangio and some of these guys, this defense got to get back on point. And Howie Roseman is not sparing any expense. He's spending the money like it ain't his because it ain't his. You know what I mean? Jeffrey Lurie told Howie Roseman, apparently, go out there and win me a Super Bowl. You go out there and take care of it and make it happen. Howie Roseman got his coaches. The coaches are saying this guy could work, this guy could work, this guy could work. And we're opening up the books and we are making things happen. You know what I mean? In Philadelphia. So everybody else want to hate on the moves that we make, Cowboys content creators, because they team ain't making nothing happen. You know what I mean? How you out here getting outworked by the Commanders? How you getting outworked by the Commanders? You know what I'm saying? And you ain't trying to, you ain't, how you think you so good? How arrogant can you be to not participate in free agency and want to get better? Like you somehow went to a championship game or something. But that's neither here nor there, man. All that I'm focused on is that the Philadelphia Eagles are trying to get better. And that's all we need to worry about. So this tampering thing, with Saquon Barkley in this press conference today, this tampering thing just looked ugly, man. It looked cheesy. It looked cheap. It just looked like a bunch of guys mad and upset, trying to pull anything out of thin air, saying the Philadelphia Eagles somehow meddled and approached Saquon Barkley early. You know, when Saquon's press conference today, he said that, his coach just spoke a little, a little loosely, a little wildly, and that wasn't the case at all. So, I'm not really worried about it. You know what I mean? The Giants fans, instead of trying to win games, they weren't about potentially getting a first-round pick from the Philadelphia Eagles for tampering. They need to go somewhere and learn life. They learn how to win some games. You know what I mean? It's like people are just trying to pull anything out of the thin air this year in free agency. But it is what it is, man. That's what happened when you wanted the good guys, man. And also, some key things that Saquon Barkley said in the press conference was, to come to a team where they think winning 11 games is going to the playoffs as a down year, that's a hell of a culture that's being built. And he's absolutely right. Last year was a down year for us. A down year for us. You know how many teams would have been ecstatic to have the season we had last year? That's a down year for us. A down year for us. So with that being said, we bring these stars in the building. We introduce these guys to our culture. Devin White, you know what I mean? I think he's a Super Bowl champion over there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, for sure he's Super Bowl champion. He was out there with Brady and them. But, like generational talents like Saquon Barkley haven't been around organizations to where that's the norm. Getting to the postseason and competing for championships is the norm for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, when you get good guys in the building like that, they almost feel as though that they got to keep up with the norm. They got to match the expectations of what's going on here in the building. And, you know, it is what it is, man. We're going to see how this thing pan out. But this has been one hell of a free agency, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.